Do you have students who show leadership potential in your ministry? Are you looking to develop or strengthen your student leadership program? DYM would love to invite you to our Student Leadership Conference. It's this summer in 3 locations: Southern California, Granger, Indiana, and Atlanta, Georgia. Each conference is taught by Doug Fields and Josh Griffin and other DYM friends. Check out studentleadershipconference.com for more details, including pricing, dates, and exact location. We'd love to see you this summer.
This DYM podcast is brought to you by LeaderTrex. Go to serve, return, ready to lead. On a LeaderTrex mission trip, you'll serve and get out of your comfort zone. And through the program, your students will learn how to lead. They'll bring back that leadership and confidence to your youth ministry, and it will make a difference the rest of the year. Learn more and sign up at leadertrex.org. And since we love DYM, listeners get 10% off resources by using the code DYM10 at leadertrex.org.
Reach your hand out and pray for the person.
2, 1. Hey! Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Download Youth Ministry Podcast. Doug Fields here. To my right is the Reverend. This is the senior pastor. This is the head of all Supertones, the founder, the creator, the director.
Wow.
Jason Carson.
The founder.
Hello,
everyone.
To my left is Katie, the Queen Edwards, junior high guru, youth pastor extraordinaire. Met her when she was a senior in high school. I was a youth pastor, and she was a power forward on the Trabuco Hills Mustangs.
Go Mustangs!
Yo, yo, yo!
Powder puff football.
Girls basketball, Doug's favorite sport.
Yep, and then Josh Griffin, co-host of all of his bios, the co-host of the Download Youth Ministry
That's what it says on paper. I'm sticking to it.
We're live here.
We also have some friends.
We're live here at Orange. Well, this is maybe our 4th or 5th live show that we've ever done. In past live shows, anybody have been to one of our live shows before?
I've been to all of them.
and counting. Wow, look at that. There's a lot of who has never even heard of a Download Youth Ministry podcast, and you came here because you thought there was going to be beer or
Sorry to disappoint you.
Typically, when people say they listen to the podcast, people say they listen to the podcast, my typical response is, "I'm sorry."
Yeah, why?
Yeah, this is episode 315. We've been doing this for 10 years. We are live at the Orange Conference in Atlanta,
Orange.
Georgia.
This podcast is sponsored by...
It's a primary sponsor. You know what? Let's do this. Let's don't even mention the secondary sponsors.
Oh, really? This is the
There's
only...
no
This is the Orange Show.
Yeah, this is the Orange Show.
I
This
like
is
it.
the Orange Show.
like
This is
it.
the Download Youth Ministry Podcast, sponsored by the Orange Show. Yeah, and we re-recorded the last 2 episodes was in our new studio.
That's right.
So we did 2 in our studio. Now we're live here in Atlanta, and we have somehow bribed an audience to be here.
It's incredible.
The room is hot. There's no food.
It's hot. Katie is bright red.
I know.
She is fiery red right now.
I'm nervous. This makes me nervous.
Katie also has claustrophobic issues, and we're close to. This is a very
Well, we
close
have no
room.
sound in the room, so if people can't hear us talking normally,
Yeah.
we're in trouble.
We're in
But
trouble.
Intimate environment.
how many? So we already asked how many people have that are like. Do we have any rewinders? Okay, we've got a few rewinders.
Wow.
Yes. And a
see those hands.
rewinder.
We'll pray for you.
Rewinder is basically a synonym for people who have no life. Okay, a rewinder is somebody.
A commute. They could be
Or a long commute,
lawn service,
or a lot of yard work.
Yeah, exactly.
Or
That's it.
treadmill. A lot of treadmill. Yeah.
And the idea of a rewinder is they entered somewhere into 1 through 315, and they liked the podcast, and they went all the way back to the beginning.
That's nuts. Back to the OG.
Is this your first live show?
No. We did the one at the DYM 100.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it was pretty fun.
That's good.
Yeah.
Because typically our live shows in the past have been out of control because in the early days that was the only time Matt McGill was good.
Yeah.
Was at the live show.
Just do a line of cocaine and then do the show. It was unbelievable.
That is not true.
Was that a secret?
That is not true.
I thought that was public.
There's new people.
Was that not common knowledge?
That is not true.
Okay.
Is that why he was kicked off the show? Yeah.
Drug use.
That
It was a
is
good
not
run.
true.
Yeah.
It was a good run.
no drugs.
Anyway. Hey, is everybody having a good time at the Orange Conference?
Yeah.
All right.
This show is sponsored by the Orange Conference.
Yeah, and we are grateful for that. It'd be nice if they gave us some air conditioning, some food, and some
On a microphone that works.
microphones that work. Katie, we have stuff to give away, which we can't do every week.
What are we going to give away, Doug?
You want to keep this, don't you?
I do.
I'll get.
That
You know
book's
what?
not even out yet.
I'll get you one. I'll get you one.
Oh,
Thank
just take
you.
it.
Yeah, it's the art of group talk, how to lead better conversations
Brand
with
new.
teenage guys, and the art of group talk, how to lead better conversations with kids. Now, I'm not a marketing genius, but I would have made the covers different.
Maybe a different color.
Yeah, something different.
picture.
One says teenage guys, one says kids, and you really can't tell the difference
Yeah.
other than the 8-point font of the authors. But you know what? Here's the reality. This
We're
is
so
free.
excited.
Nobody's going to care.
Quick reminder, podcast sponsored by
What a plug.
Orange, yeah.
And
Heads up on that.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
They're great.
All right. So why don't you just draw a name, because we're going to do that randomly. It's people that are.
I think you should throw him out.
David Hansen.
David Hansen. David, come on down.
David.
There it is. Oh, boy.
Yeah, there it
Heads
is.
up. Heads up.
Yeah.
There you go. Congrats. That was
Yeah.
close.
If we have you on the show, David, we have to sign waivers and you know stuff
just
like
stay
that.
there. Stay off camera. Stay off
yeah.
camera.
Yeah. So,
Can they be entered again, or is that's it?
No,
right?
he's
They're
out.
done. David's out.
He's
All right.
out.
Sorry.
So
Good
what we
job.
do
Congrats.
is we take
still
questions, and we'll take questions from the audience too, because I didn't spend really much time prepping, but I did grab a couple questions. And when I say I didn't spend much time prepping, let me just tell you, here's how the prep works. People send in questions to podcast at downloadyouthministry.com.
That's
Podcast at downloadyouthministry.com.
my one job. Thank you.
And then the day of
Nailed
the
it.
podcast, I print them and I take them to Del Taco and I read them and I make little comments on them about like what the topic is.
Yeah.
I used to grade them like A, B, and C, but
They were all C's. You were like, nah, not interested.
yeah, then we wouldn't have a show.
So Jason, Katie, and I have never seen the questions on the show ever in any episode. We've never
no, we don't
go
even.
through 'em.
We rarely even talk. Like if we start catching up with one another, our bit is save it for the show. So anyway, hey, Josh, Doug, and crew.
Yeah, they got the
Yeah,
order right.
Sorry.
Wow, that's
Josh,
Yeah.
Doug.
Katie, do you feel hurt by that a little bit?
This is from Kyle Folks. He says, "Just want to pass along a quick thank you and then a question. My youth ministry got to host an area-wide worship night for our youth network last night, and I was frantically doing some last-minute details. I thought it'd be nice to add a transition video in the beginning to get us off to a nice start. So what did I do? I went straight to my DYM downloads video folder. I figured there might be something that we could use in there, and as I perused the folder, I came across a title that I wasn't familiar with. I Am, We Are, We Can. That was the title, and decided to give it a watch. I was amazed. It was literally the perfect video for the theme of the night and what we were trying to get across to our students. I couldn't believe it. It says video March 2nd, 2016, but I have no recollection of that whatsoever. Either I downloaded it a year ago or the Lord placed it in there, or maybe
it.
both.
That's it.
Anyways, please pass a thank you along to the DYM team for me. Resources like that remind me, and I'm reminded quite frequently, why I'm a DYM member, and that is really the best deal in the history of youth ministry.
Yeah.
So the Holy Spirit really works
you
through
go. Amen.
through DYM. It's pretty
Just
much.
check your My Downloads page right now. You never know what the angels have done. So
Yeah.
just keep look around.
Yeah. What do you think of that, Josh?
I think it's a miracle.
Yeah.
I
think the Lord
I've been
placed it
doubting
in
my
there.
faith for a long time. Not anymore. I'm in. God's real. It's real.
That's good. Oh, he has a question
This
too.
whole thing is real.
It's all real.
Now for my question. It's too long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for the kind words. Here we
A lot
go.
of text.
That's too big. Too much.
Yeah,
Too
so we
much.
gotta-
This is a better size
Let's go
question.
there.
Yeah, if you write a question, you guys, more this size.
Hey, where do they
Not so
send it
much
to
this
if they do write a question?
They send it to podcast at downloadyouthministry.com.
That's
Jordan. This is from Jordan Floro. Jordan Floro says, hey, DYM team, so thankful for what you guys do. I'm a DYM member. Actually just submitted content to the DYM store for the first time. I'm pretty excited about moving from being a consumer to a contributor. That'll preach.
Yeah, it will.
Yeah.
Boy, amen.
My question is this. I feel like God has gifted me with a passion and desire to prepare messages and teach God's words God's Word to teenagers. Currently, I'm speaking regularly in our student ministry a couple times a year at my church on Sunday mornings and the local FCAs and ministries as those invitations present themselves. I feel like I've grown in this area considerably and would like to begin speaking more at camps and retreats, but don't even know where to start. How do I pursue this without coming across as being arrogant?
That's a good question.
I wish Josh would ask questions like that.
You should answer this.
That's good.
Because here it comes down to really, like, there's a lot of people that have ambition that maybe is different or bigger than their church walls. And so how do you do that without being a
Tool?
Say it.
I thought for a second you were going to say, but we don't say that on the show.
No,
So
no.
thank you.
Save it
that
for the
was
show.
an example of, I didn't say it. but
Yeah.
Yeah. I was saying what he could have said.
Example.
It's like a
For
quote.
example.
Yeah,
That's the
fine.
kind of thing that you do in a live show that you wouldn't have done.
You got that right.
Yeah. Yeah.
We can delete it. It's okay.
No, my daughter, when she was in, it was like second or third grade, at the parent-teacher conference, the parent-teacher said, Cassie uses the word and we just think that's and I go, no, it's totally inappropriate, but I work with teenagers and they're in my house a lot, and
There you go.
yeah. Plus her mom has a foul mouth. What do you say? It's a good question.
Yeah, I would say put in the hard work of serving in your church and teaching an FCA. Do a bunch of those. I would say that's a great start. Don't reach for the ambition too quickly, too soon. Don't look for the bigger stage and bigger crowds. Do a bunch of talks.
Don't you think that if you are out knocking on doors, self-promoting, that's going to be short-lived?
I think so too. I think you might get some yeses, but if you're not ready for it, and I think it's a fine line between arrogance and self-promotion. And I don't know. I'd be slow.
If you feel like you're gifted in that area, don't you want to pursue opportunities?
Yeah.
But I think somebody that even asks the question, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
You know,
I agree.
That it's the people that don't ask the questions that should be asking the questions.
Yeah. I like Katie. She's don't.
What do you think, Katie? You got anything on this?
No, I mean, I'm not ever looking for that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I really like my day job, being a junior high pastor. So it's fun when those opportunities find me, but I don't know that I've ever been in the position to go out and look for something because I feel like I have my hands full where I'm at.
Yeah.
But it is fun to like do stuff with friends. So I don't think I'm ever saying yes to anything that's not like linked to a friendship or a relationship or something like that. So I think...
And I would say every time you speak, get better. So if you get a chance to speak at FCA, have somebody there who's a great communicator or better than you communicator. Ask for pointers, tips, feedback. If you get to speak at your youth group, get better. Every chance you get. Like, I think we want to skip the hard work of getting to be a camp speaker or getting to speak at that D-Now or that retreat or whatever it is. I think do the hard work of getting some tough feedback that says you could be better here. This wasn't clear. This was heretical or whatever. Like, I think if you're going to speak,
helpful.
Yeah, it feels good.
Yeah.
Tells you that.
I would say get feedback on any stage before you just want to jump right to the next level.
I wonder if this is like the hustle too, right? I mean, everybody has side jobs, and we have no problem saying, oh, my wife's promoting a jewelry company or something, and we promote that. But speaking, it always comes into that category of, oh, you need to be humble about this. So it's a fine line you got to walk, right? But I would say pursue it with humility. The parable of the talents comes to mind, where you be faithful with what God puts in front of you, and He'll give you more opportunity, and be patient with that.
Makes sense. Senior pastor brings
Yeah.
out a parable right there. That was
Hey.
nice.
Yeah.
That's
That
good.
was nice.
Always scripture.
Josh
to you.
gets uncomfortable when I use the Bible. It's
Well, he was
That'll
homeschooled,
preach.
so we know that's not true. Hey, Katie, let's do another drawing with our live audience.
I'm excited.
Right, live audience?
Yeah. It is so hot
It's
in
hot.
here.
Chris Sasser.
Yeah.
Chris.
What's his nickname? What does it
But
say?
they call me Sass.
They call me Sass.
Wow. It's exciting.
Nice job, Sass.
Yeah. All right. This is from Scott Huff. Scott,
Sorry.
He's
Scott's
actually
in the room.
here.
Yeah, behind the camera.
Scott's
Yeah.
producer
Give us a
Scott.
little
Woo! Give us a something there, Scott.
Scott, do you remember what question you sent in?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I was in the gym and listened to the podcast, and then
In the gym, he just drops that line.
Lame.
Yeah, I was doing a pretty hard workout. I was doing
Lame.
curls.
Had 2 or 3 people spotting for you, and you're like,
Arnold was like, "You can do it." All right, what do you got?
Dear
That was an
Doug.
Arnold
My
impression.
script writer wrote it
You're
for
welcome.
me while I was pumping
Dear
iron.
Doug,
That's
Josh, Katie, Mr. Supertone, Foddy, Elliot, and team. That's good.
Elliot.
Nicely, Elliot.
Producer Elliot.
Yeah, let's pause right here. Who listens to the show enough to have a question about Elliot? Let's do this.
Everyone
let's
has
do this.
questions about Elliot.
I will. Here's Elliot Trivia question.
Oh,
all right.
wow.
Ooh.
Elliot.
Wait, do they have to stand up or raise their
Yeah,
hand? What do they
stand
have to
up.
do?
First one
You
to
have to stand
stand.
up.
Stand
Yeah,
up.
just don't
Okay.
knock the camera
Here,
over.
hold this.
Yeah, all right.
Um,
Scott Huff, here we go.
This is so cute, by the way.
Elliot is my.
Whoa.
Who was up first?
Well, Andy.
He was the first one up.
I looked
but-
over there.
I thought you were supposed to call on him, but he just shouted it out.
Sorry, Andy, you're done.
I'm so
I wasn't
uncomfortable.
done.
What
I
are we
wasn't done with
doing?
the question yet. Elliot is my
Slave.
favorite nephew
Who works?
Who
whose 2 jobs include
Wow.
Abercrombie and Yankee Candle.
Abercrombie
Wow.
and Yankee Candle.
Wow.
Nicely done.
I am both
is-
impressed and saddened by that answer right there. Wow. You knew it. You knew it. Yeah.
You know what? I don't know if we've. I got a Yankee Candle
Oh, that's right.
sent to DYM.
really?
Just randomly.
No,
in
there's
the
a
mail?
box sitting on my desk. I open it up, and it's a full-on Yankee Candle with no letter.
Yeah. No
So like
return,
somebody podcasts like,
awesome.
hey, funny, great, funny, but it was even funnier that we have no idea who to give the funny credit to. So if you'd like to take credit, go ahead. You sent it? Yeah. What? That would be creepy. Yeah.
Scott Huff.
Only creepy because he wore my workout shorts when he compression shorts. Yeah.
You never wear another man's compression shorts. I don't know much about working out.
Do you want to give
obviously,
context?
but I
You wanna
know
give some context there, Doug?
We had, remember a couple weeks ago, we had the DYM editors group.
Yeah.
many-
And 11 of them stayed at my house.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
so,
Justin was one of them.
yeah, but that's not Justin.
I know.
Yeah.
11 of them stayed, and we worked out one day. We did CrossFit, and he needed some compression shorts. And I go, well, Josh's won't fit you. So,
The calves. That's why.
so that's the story. Here we go. My name is Scott Huff,
Good
and I'm the
story.
student pastor at Emmanuel Baptist Church in Lexington, Kentucky. I'm a longtime podcast listener, DYM member, now a DYM 100 Week 2 member, also a DYM author. Gosh, and now a DYM videographer.
Producer. He's producer
Yeah.
Elliot for the show.
Yeah,
An honor.
Elliot's gone.
Yeah.
My student ministry currently meets Sunday mornings during our church's first hour for small group discipleship and Bible study, and then we attend the church's second hour worship service together. Our midweek is on Sunday night due to everything for children and adults being at the same time. We do a large group game time, worship, and message. Our attendance has recently declined, and the student response for the reason for the decline is, quote, I went to church in the morning instead. So the students are equating our Sunday morning corporate worship service with Sunday night youth group. We are extremely similar in energy and worship style. We're looking for a new way and method to get kids re-engaged on Sunday nights. I feel like it has to be really different than on Sunday morning so students will desire to return on Sunday night. Looking for suggestions from you youth ministry pros and Mr. Supertone. Thanks. Scott Huff, student pastor, Emmanuel Baptist Church.
Written while at the gym. Love it. Well, I would say if you have 2 youth ministry programs, just have to make sure they have a different focus. If they're both discipleship-oriented or both small groups, community-oriented, you're approaching the same audience 2 times on the same day. you're going to fragment that audience. So I would say of the two programs, I would find one that has maybe a discipleship class, like maybe the Sunday morning is the place for that, more like a Sunday school. Maybe that's where small groups go, and the entry-level program is Sunday night. I don't know, but I would look at the purpose of the program first and decide, and just make sure they're different. You're going after two different things.
That's good.
Yeah.
I mean, you could think about just doing one program, and just think about combining the two. If Sunday morning is where the draw is and students are coming, typically it would lean more towards maximizing where they already are and building on that. And so if it's possible to combine the two and doing small groups, and I know large group and small group in one program is tricky and it's a long period of time, but definitely could be worth thinking about. And Sunday night maybe could be some kind of student leadership or serve or something like that has, again, a different feel, but maybe it's a next level of ownership. You're pouring into students who are kind of in a next level of spiritual commitment. That could be cool too, maybe. I don't know.
How you feeling with questions being answered live right here?
Very good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and it has to be Sunday night? It can't be like a Wednesday or a Tuesday or a Thursday?
We've talked about that, but everything is on Sunday night. They moved from Wednesday night to Sunday night before I got there.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, it's pretty.
It's a very similar situation when I first got to Saddleback, when Katie was a power forward at Tribuco Hills High.
Go Mustangs.
Go Mustangs.
Best football player I've ever seen.
There was a Sunday morning program and a Wednesday night program, and essentially the same. Essentially target. So, I became the Antichrist when I changed it because nobody likes the change. But we were reaching the same kids, doing the same thing, just on two different dates. So we moved our Wednesday night to more of a small group format so that it was different enough so that it kind of had like the wide end of the funnel, then moving them down. So if you can't gong Sunday night, I'd change the look and feel of it so it doesn't feel the same. Yeah. But if I could, I'd gong Sunday night, move it to another night. You stay home on Sunday night and watch TV.
Yeah.
Sundays are tiring, aren't they?
Sunday nights are tough
nights
too.
You're tired on Sunday?
It's a school night. It's a homework night.
Yeah,
Sunday
and
night.
they're already going. They can't even apply what they learned on Sunday morning.
Yeah.
They forgot the message by the time they're driving out of the church parking lot.
Yeah.
They don't need another one.
It's true.
Unless you're the senior pastor and you have a different opinion.
Well, I think long messages are the best for people always.
Oh my goodness!
Lots of
If you
long
could just
Lots
open your
of-
Bible,
lots,
yeah.
Lots and lots.
Let's do a drawing, and then let's go to a live question.
Ooh,
What
I
do you
like it.
think?
What are we giving away?
We're giving away the Art of Group Talk. A very
Which one, though?
Get out your glasses
Yeah.
and see if you
Kids.
How
can.
to lead better conversations with kids.
Michael Hayes.
What was the one you won? Guys?
Guys.
Michael Hayes, congrats!
Oh.
There you go.
You have a pretty good arm. I think you're intentionally throwing it off a little bit.
No, I wasn't.
I think so.
Oh, you're
I think you were
close.
trying to hurt that gentleman right there.
That was
No,
close.
evil spirits think like that, Josh. What about a live question?
Apologize.
Todd, you got one?
That's it.
Just what about a question for anybody up here? Gosh.
Oh my gosh. I'm sorry.
No, I'm putting you on the spot.
I'm just gonna give you a
because you
prize
stole things from my
because
house.
He's awful.
You're going straight to Todd, just out of the blue.
Todd,
he didn't
do
even
you remember
raise his hand.
DYM 100 stole something from my
I
house?
do. We had a bit a long time ago called "Stolen from Doug's House"
on the
Then
podcast.
on the podcast. Then it became we tried to steal things from each other's house, which was a lot of fun. And then now Todd's bringing it back. This is awesome.
Wasn't there something where maybe a rewinder will remember this? I stole something from your house,
The Polish sausage
and then
from our
I
freezer.
and then yeah.
We're over hanging out, and all of a sudden, we're out walking the dog, and the dog goes crazy. And he took the Polish sausage and he just threw it in the bushes.
Yeah.
So our dog is like freaking out, and then all of a sudden pulls out this whole wrapped Polish sausage. We're like, how did this get out here? This is crazy. Months later, Doug is like, oh yeah, I put it there.
Yeah,
Stolen.
so that was a bit. And so,
So
then
then
when
Todd-
Todd was
yeah.
over my house, and Kathy, do you remember that? Stole the cheese? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Stole the cheese.
All right, we've got a question over here. Yes, sir.
My question is for you, Doug.
Yep.
Purpose-driven youth ministry is almost 20 years old.
Yeah.
And I'm just curious why you haven't updated it. Is it because it's so perfect?
That's gold medallion, award-winning, purpose-driven youth ministry.
Yeah, good question. Tell me your name.
Jamel.
Jamel said, for those in our audience who could not hear, that Purpose-Driven Youth Ministry is almost 20 years old. Why have I updated it? Is it because it's perfect? I did just have a conversation with a guy like 2 hours ago that was in my workshop that I'm trying to read a book a month, and Purpose-Driven Youth Ministry was March, and there's so much in it I couldn't get through it all. And he was talking about how great it was. In the back of my mind, I'm going, "Guy, it's so old." But yeah, it's still really good. So now
It's still good. It's still long.
yeah,
Still a long book.
here's the unknown story. Is Zondervan, the publishing company, about 8 years ago, paid me very well to rewrite it. And I got into the first chapter, and I was like, I love this chapter. Because the first chapter is on the power of God and dependence on the power of the whole bit. And I was like, I don't feel like rewriting it right now. And I put it down. I even talked to Josh about rewriting it. And Josh gave me like 4 blog posts that he thought were good. I'm like, Josh.
Well, I took out the parts about cassette tapes and 8 tracks and things like that just felt a little dated.
Yeah. And so Josh gave me some stuff, and I just was like, I put it off, and then I didn't do anything. And Zondervan didn't do anything, and they paid me a bunch of money to write it. And I'm like, well, I'll get to it one of these days. And about 2 years ago, they actually started withdrawing money from my royalties of my other books, and so I haven't made a royalty in a couple years. I had to pay it back, and I'd already spent it. Yeah, it's a.
So it's coming out real soon. It sounds like.
I have 3 kids to send to Christian colleges, so somewhere in there, I'm sure it went to tuition, and they put a new cover on it.
They did.
But we're approaching the 20th year, and I was thinking that maybe the 3 of us should.
Let's do it. What about Jason?
Well, he can write the senior pastor chapter.
Yeah, I mean.
Boy, this is awkward.
Yeah. No. So anyway, that's the story. Like I do want to freshen it up.
Feels right.
But even like when I wrote the chapter on parents, if you read the chapter on parents, it says I don't know the way. This isn't the way to do it, but I gave here's 8 things that I'm working on. I actually pulled it out for a seminary class I was teaching about a year ago, and I read that chapter and I was like, pretty much I feel the same way. And hasn't been a ton like groundbreaking in parenting ministry. So it does need a freshener, but I think I should do it with Katie and Josh.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
I taught recently
and Jason.
Matt McGill.
Yeah.
I taught recently on large group programming, and you have some key principles in there about a positive environment, an element of fun, student leadership, and student involvement. That holds up to this day. Like I've literally taught it almost verse by verse, and it works. It still is good stuff. So I would be very interested in reread. We have a lot of fun with that.
Yeah.
I think it could be really helpful.
Yeah.
But it still holds up.
What do you think, Katie? You want to?
Let's get a verbal yes on that.
Yeah, I'm still living it. So,
I know.
It's my life.
Yeah, can you hear Katie? She's like,
sorry.
I feel like Katie's in a recliner.
I know. I'm sorry.
I just want to make sure that people hear your gems.
Yeah.
She's trying to find some space between us in the front row.
I know. I get a little nervous at the live.
No, I know you don't like the live.
Yeah, no, I love Purpose-Driven Youth Ministry. Okay. I mean, that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
So I love it.
You want to rewrite it?
Maybe.
Yeah, that's a no.
No.
I heard. Whenever it's a maybe, it's
yeah.
It's just
no,
like,
that's
you guys are writing like all the time.
No, I'm done.
24/7
Kathy and I just did intentional parenting, and I said that's the last book I'm ever going to write.
Oh gosh.
So there is no Purpose-Driven Youth Ministry then.
No, that would be a rewrite. Yeah.
Kathy, you down for that? Is that okay? Rewrite?
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, if Kathy says yes.
Yeah. Well, round one was rough. Yeah. There's like it came out probably for a year. I cried every time I read the dedication because we went through it on that book. We had kind of stacked hands, and this is the stuff you never hear about, but we said it's going to be a year, probably above and beyond, because it wasn't like I stopped being a youth pastor to write it. I was writing at night when the kids would go to bed, and then the due date came and it wasn't done, it wasn't good, and then Kathy's like, man, I signed on to a year, and now we're pushing 2 years, and It was rough. So anyway, it wasn't just like go in the garage and crank it out. But good question. Thank you. And we'll get right on that.
Jason, you're okay watching us, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna watch you right.
Yeah. You know what? Would you do the?
I'd say it sounds exciting.
What about cover design?
No. Would you do like the voice part,
The soundtrack,
the audiobook?
Yeah, the audiobook.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, because you have a great voice, and there is an audiobook of it, and I have no idea who did it, but it wasn't me. Yeah. Any other questions from the audience, the live audience here?
Wow.
Yeah.
So I'm an intern, and I was wondering what your best intern story was, either when you guys were interns or interns you've had.
You're an intern, and what's our best intern story or intern stories we've had? I'll tell you one that as a conference, while you guys think of one. When I was an intern, I went to the Youth Specialties Conference, and we had no money at all. I was probably 19 or 20 years old. I went with my friend Todd, and we stayed at a hotel. We were so hungry. At night, we went in the aisles of the hotel, and when people would set their food out, oh yeah,
No.
yeah, I was so hungry, and it was like, I mean, I'm making it sound like I was in the streets of Kitale, Kenya, but yeah, we would take food from people that they didn't eat all their meal, and we're like,
awesome.
"Nah, it's half a hamburger. I'm going for that."
That crust looks delicious.
Yeah, that's the quickest intern story I think of.
It's a good one.
Gosh. Were you an intern?
I was never an intern, but we had a summer interns 2 years ago. Summer interns in our ministry had to come up through the church in order to have a summer internship. And the first event, it was like hamburgers and hot dogs and whatever, and the interns went out and bought all the supplies, and they bought Hunt's ketchup, which is just offensive. Everyone knows Heinz ketchup.
Heinz.
Thank you for
Number
your
one.
support already.
Whoa.
Heinz.
So I took
Who
it.
didn't know that? I would have no idea. It's
See,
red.
these are my people. Everyone knows
Wow.
it's Heinz. We threw the ketchup down the ground. It splattered and said, "Go back to the store." We're laughing because it's hilarious, but they're totally serious. And they went back to the store and brought back Heinz. Then as we debriefed the summer, they were like, "Man, that first day was so hard when you threw all the ketchup on the ground." We were joking and messing, but they learned a valuable lesson that day.
Don't mess with Josh's food.
Ketchup. Don't give him ketchup. Yeah.
Gosh.
Heinz. Thank you for your support, by the way. Not a
Yes.
single hand, by the way.
I didn't know there was a big difference.
And no
Hunt's is
no,
like watery
and no
and
Pepsi
gross.
products.
No Pepsi. Ugh.
Yeah,
No,
I'm with you
only
there.
Coke.
I like Pepsi.
Surprise!
Yeah.
Surprise! Surprise! Senior pastor.
Shoot.
Katie, you got anything?
fine.
Mountain
summer
Dew.
interns.
Mountain Dew is a Pepsi product.
Yes.
Mountain Dew is a different category, though. That's
It's
not.
a Pepsi product.
No.
Coke is garbage.
Hey,
We're
really
in
quick.
Atlanta.
Yeah, this is the
We're
world
in the world of Coke. Oh my gosh.
How dare you?
We're in the world of Coke.
Really quick, as long as we're doing a live show, do we want to just replace Jason now or save it for the next show? Should we? There's some pretty good candidates.
I've already
right here.
been replaced.
I think there's some sharp
Don't
folks
listen
out
to
here.
Josh.
I like
hurt people.
Jason, let's do another drawing. This is a book that Kathy, if we get in trouble from the orange people, Kathy Fields stole.
Wait, should this be for a guy?
What?
Should it be for a guy?
Yeah, it could be for a guy. It's called 7 Ways to Be Your Hero, the one your wife has been waiting for. Jamel Jones.
Wow. Wow. Jamal, are you married?
Yep.
I am married.
You're married, all right.
Atta way.
Well, there you go. That book will help you
It's a
ton.
good book.
Hey,
Not as good as
I read that
Purpose-Driven
book
Youth
in
Ministry, but
Croatia.
It's pretty good.
is anybody engaged right now? Anybody engaged? Here you go.
Look at this smile. Look.
Congratulations.
16 days.
Congratulations.
It's too late. Too late for this. Anybody else getting married longer?
No, it's great.
Yeah, sorry about
it's
that.
great.
No, it's good.
It's
Here.
great.
No, it's-
yes. It will be
gotta-
fine.
2 at once.
Yeah, look out. Look out.
2 at once.
Yeah, that's true. 16 days. All right, getting ready for marriage.
Yeah.
Sponsored by Orange.
Orange. Everything's sponsored by Orange.
All right, what about another live question here?
Let's do it.
So our church is launching our first satellite campus in August. We're kind of taking a church that's existing with guys with the youth pastor there. So, but I mean, you guys are familiar with multi-site. We're trying. It's about 10 minutes away from our what would be our main campus, our current campus. So we're trying to figure out how to structure the different they're definitely smaller than our campus. So just how to structure that, like what would be best practices from your experience?
All right, repeating for the people who or not heard the longest question in the history of our show. They're doing a satellite campus about 10 minutes away, and asking a question about how would you structure that.
Yeah.
It's a really specific question.
It is. I'll give a quick principle while you guys think about it. I have a love-hate relationship with campuses because they're going to take students from the original campus, but the expectations on those numbers at the original campus will remain the same. So just know that going into it.
Ooh, the pain is coming out.
It's real.
Yeah.
We started with one campus, it was all good, and then we added a few more, but the numbers pressure of this is the number that is success for high school ministry does not change. Even though we're pulling 10 students here, 30 students here, whatever, I'm still responsible for the same number when we had 0 campuses as now we have 4 or 5 or whatever.
Okay, so you're angry, but you really didn't answer it.
No, I'm not. Yeah, I just wanted to say that. That was it. So no, just beware. There is a little bit of a dark side to campuses that affects student ministries that nobody talks about. Everyone's like, hey, we're launching a campus. But the original campus can have some really high expectations that I think are unfair. So know that going in and have that conversation with somebody who you're going to report to. No, I don't care about your question, but I just wanted to say that.
No, that's good.
We don't get to do this very often, but can I ask a clarifying question? So do you have someone who's helping you lead the transition, or are you the one that's figuring it out? You guys, yeah.
Cool.
And
there's actually another transition. Our senior high pastor who's been there for 18 years is transitioning out to another role. I'm transitioning from, Katie, junior high to high school.
that's tragic.
Amen. Welcome to the Lord's will. Amen.
Or the second most important ministry in the church.
Right after senior citizens, right,
after
Jason?
junior high.
You're kind of having a rough day, aren't you?
Yeah.
But thanks for flying all the way out here.
Yeah.
I think for you guys with multi-site, or as you're kind of figuring out the campuses and things like that, I think the biggest thing about campuses that I found has been building relationships. With our campuses, I feel like has the potential to be a network of youth pastors, which when you're in a room like this, you understand the benefit of that. Mm-hmm. So I think going into it thinking, let's build this cool network of youth workers that partner together, but we have a church right down the road from us. It might not be our campus, but there's still a church right down the road, right? So what are some things that you can do to kind of set up partnership to help each other win? Josh is totally right. We definitely have felt a pressure from senior leadership to maintain some numbers and growth and things like that. But we also, there's also this really cool opportunity, to partner. And, even 10 minutes down the road, there are different students that are 10 minutes down the road than in our immediate little circle. So there's just the potential to reach more students. So I would think of what could be with 2 youth ministries tackling your community, what could be possible, and just kind of thinking about the potential versus the problems. There's going to be problems. There's going to be things to figure out, but the tighter your relationships are with each other, sharing resources, wanting each other to win, I think that could be a really cool way to start. It's not where we started, but it's where we're trying to get to now. So.
That's good. You want to be close like brothers like that.
Yeah.
That's good.
I was going to say to you guys too, how cool is that you get to lead this and kind of figure this out yourselves? I always tell my leadership team, as you go, the people will go. So like as leaders, always setting the tone for that. Kids will smell it if you guys are negative about it, or if you're bitter about it, or if you're, like, gosh, we have to do it this way. But if you're saying, hey, let's see unity in this, the body of Christ, supporting each other, all that stuff, I think there's power in it. Yeah.
Well, most people do youth ministry alone. I did youth ministry alone for 8 years in Michigan. That is a tough place to be. And then slowly started to realize I could build a volunteer team and we could really be in partnership. So I love what you're saying. There's 2 of you now. You have different strengths, gifts, and abilities. Maybe one of you writes the message and then the other one kind of just has to tweak it for their campus. Maybe there's some different skill set for events or campus ministry, and that person takes that. So yeah, you get a partner in ministry. That's a fun place to be. Most people do not have that luxury. So yeah.
I already cheered this one.
We also, let's give away a free registration for next year.
What a great gift.
To our sponsor.
Orange Conference 2018.
Yeah, 2018.
Is this a bit?
No, it's not a bit. It's not a bit. We don't have permission yet.
I was just saying, text them quick.
No, we can do that.
No, I think
right? We have two, Allison? Yeah. We have two to give away.
Two? Can we give away at the same time?
We should give away 3 then, just to be rebels.
just to stick it to them.
Yeah.
Here we go.
I have 2. So I have Lydia Colley.
Lydia.
Yes. All right.
You're coming next year.
I'm so happy that too.
Free. That's like, what does it cost to come here? $300?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. So you got to see Allison, the pretty girl in the light hair.
And I think they just call it blonde.
I think.
Well, with Allison,
girl in the light hair.
There's always a color in there. So
That's true.
Okay,
the other one is Jonathan Baldwin.
Jonathan Baldwin. That was his question.
Who's also coming to DYM 100, right?
Wow, that's
Very
exciting.
excited about that. Who's coming to DYM 100? This new one.
The new DYM 100?
Yeah.
How many have never heard of the DYM 100 have no idea what you're talking about? Well, we can't tell you because it's a secret. But in related news, you can't get in, so it's okay.
Been to the DYM 100?
Idea.
Look at that.
Yeah.
So if you want to know anything about it, ask them, and they also won't be able to tell you anything. So it's great. It's great.
Yeah. Well, we could sneak a couple more people in.
Yeah.
All right. Be careful.
Hey,
Sure.
be careful. Of what?
I don't know. I just want to tell you that.
Okay. Hey, we are also able to give away a free. This is like the biggest.
That's right.
What do they call
Promo
it?
card.
Rave cards, whatever.
Yep.
This is a promo card. We are starting a. It's called the Youth Ministry Leadership Exchange. It's next year here in Atlanta, Georgia, February 6th through the 8th. It's DYM plus FYI, Fuller Youth Institute, plus Orange is putting together a conference on leadership. And it's not rows, it's circles. It's kind of be like TED Talks meets the Apostle Paul. So it's kind of a Ted and Paul deal.
Perfect.
And it's not necessarily youth ministry. There will be youth ministry conversations that happen, but we are going to. Part of the reason is because of this podcast.
Absolutely.
Because many of the questions that we get are not youth ministry questions, they're leadership questions. So I've been saying for a few years, we got to help youth workers become better leaders. And that's what this is going to be. It's going to be on leadership.
Let's do it.
Katie, I haven't asked you to speak at it yet, but I know you will because you're a great leader.
And as you rewrite PDYM, that'll be fun to have you talk about that process. Where's it at, Doug? Where's
it's
the
going to
location?
be in Atlanta.
Yes.
Yeah, and I don't know how many. Orange is going to do all the details, but DYM is playing, FYI, and Orange, the three of us.
Let's give one away, but I just heard that we have 2.
Give 2 away?
We have 2.
I love
That's
it.
exciting.
All right.
This is like a $3,000 value.
Because we're paying for everything.
Where can people go to find out more about the
they could find out more at youthministryleadershipexchange.com.
That's a lot. That's a long URL right there.
That's catchy. It's really catchy.
That makes download Youth Ministry seem small.
It does. No big deal. All right.
Okay, Becca Miller.
Becca Miller.
Yay, Becca.
Woo!
You're going to the YMLX.
You know who Allison is?
LX.
In the translucent hair? Yeah. And one more.
Here we go.
This just says Nash.
Nash, you're in.
Nash.
Wait, same church? Really?
How fun is that?
I didn't do that on purpose.
Same church.
Just true.
Feels rigged.
Out of the
Feels
bag.
rigged, Katie. Rigged. Come on, rigged. Feels rigged. One more name. One more name. One more name. Yes.
Katie pulled out 2 cards folded together. That was suspicious to begin with.
Can we give away another Orange conference?
We can give away an intentional parenting video series.
Oh, my. We want to go to YMLX.
Who's got a 5-year-old kid?
I do.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. Can I give away anything else to redeem myself? They think that was rigged.
That's not rigged.
It was totally rigged.
Let's do this. Let's give away one more question, Katie.
All right, give away
one more question.
Give it away.
What do you got?
I inherited a youth ministry that before me was run by volunteers for 2 years. And so it's been great because they have buy-in. But I don't know how to lead them. So if you could just give some advice, I mean.
So you joined a youth ministry. You're the paid lead youth worker. It's been run for 2 years by
There's an event we're doing in
2
January.
volunteers. That's a good bit. It's been run by 2 volunteers for
2 volunteers ran it for 2 years.
2 years, and you're kind of like, how do I lead these people that are running it? Yeah.
How do you lead the 2 people, or how do you lead the whole group?
Whole group.
Okay.
I mean, it was run by those 2, and the rest of the volunteers still look to them.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that. I think it's great.
So they're still there and still kind of in the way?
You gotta fire 'em.
They're really helpful. They are key volunteers, but our vision for the future is slightly different, I'd say. And so, just some tips on how to
Ooh.
talk to them, get them on. I mean, our whole church is changing vision, and
How long have you been there?
8 months.
8 months.
Significant time.
Yeah, that seems like a lot. I think you have to. You're going to have to spend personal time with them. That you're not going to be able to lead from a meeting. You're not going to be able to lead from an email. This is lots of conversations over coffee. I would do something like, you've been here longer than me, and honestly, you care about this youth ministry more than I do because you're so invested in blood, sweat, and tears. And, fall on the sword a little bit. You never lose with humility. Tell me where your heart is on this, whatever. Just how can I best care for you and keep you running at a high level of leadership, because I want to support you. You're not the competition, but there's probably some jealousy on their part, that, okay, now this person's coming in. I wouldn't do it like this. But, just humble pie, love them. I don't want to lose you. I want to set you up to win. You have been so faithful for these years. I'm grateful for your service. How do I best set you up to win? And maybe ask. See, I think sometimes in ministry we don't ask direct questions. So I was talking with a guy today. He goes, I'm working with a junior high pastor. I'm not sure he likes meeting with me. I said, well, have you ever asked him? No.
Right.
All
a
right,
lot of assumptions.
Yeah,
Sure.
so I just go, hey, it just seems I was bragging about you to somebody, and then it hit me. I was like, I don't think he likes meeting with me. Is that true? And then ask him, So you might find something there with just that caring, loving pastoring. You don't want to lose him, right? Yeah.
And transitions are tough. That's what I started youth ministry coming into almost that exact same situation, a volunteer, and they were running the youth ministry for a couple years before I got there. And as soon as I got there, it was tough because they were still around. No one was quite looking to them anymore because they were happy she was done at that point. But at the same time, she still was like trying to fight me for power and stuff. And so I like what Doug said. You got to have grace with it. I mean, haven't we all had trouble with transitions at some point in passing the baton? And so just to bring unity in it and to really just kind of care for the kids in it, but. What if you asked the hard question to the people that were running it before? What if you said, hey, right now it seems that people are looking to you on this. How can we work together to accomplish our main purpose, our main goals? Like, do you have vision statements and purposes and all that stuff? So what is being compromised or jeopardized, and how can you steer them back towards what your purposes are, I guess. Yeah.
I'll throw out one thought. I would just say I like the way Fields ended his. The words in my mind were gentle and caring and slow. Be patient with them. And I also wonder, let's say you're changing where you go to camp or something like that. I would go to them and say, hey, here's the decision that I made. Here's where we're going. I'm going to announce it this Sunday. And I wanted to give you a heads up on that so you can process it, be on board. I'm so excited. You're obviously so influential here. Your reaction and your leadership in this moment is going to be a really big deal because this is a change I've prayed over and I believe in. Let them kind of figure out that process and how to respond in private. Because otherwise, when you announce it to the group, everyone's going to look right at that person and read their face and read their nonverbals and that person is figuring out what they think. But you've given them the opportunity to now help support and lead you. And I think give them that and see if they rise to that challenge. They might not be. They might be subversive and they eventually do have to be removed. I hope that doesn't come to that. But I think if you give them a good, solid chance behind the scenes and say, I need this from you because this is a big change. We're going to a new location. Oh, my goodness. You're going to win when it's announced to everybody else.
I like that.
That's good.
This is a longer show than we've normally been doing. Kind of after episode 250, we started doing a little bit shorter shows. But here's how we're going to end. Katie, you can give one thing away. How about you can give away a free registration to DYM 100?
Whoa.
Yeah,
What is
So
DYM 100?
Can you give the people that don't know just a little sentence?
We invite 100 people to come hang out with us. We're not
For
going
a-
to fly you out there or pay for your hotel, but you can
Yeah,
come
it's
in.
like $200-300 to go, and
Yes.
that will be waived.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you get out there. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, Southern California, end of September.
Yeah.
And no idea who the speakers, agenda, schedule, nothing. We tell you nothing. You
Who's
come
been?
on blind faith.
Who's been? Yeah, look at all of these people.
And did you love it?
Yeah, that's great. All right, so here's how we're
2
going to
days ever.
end. Here's how we're going to end.
Redemption.
Allison,
so.
you just go around and point to 4 people. Those 4 people have to ask one quick personal question of each of us. Personal, non-youth ministry.
Whoa.
And we're gonna evaluate the most creative question,
Ooh,
and that
I like
person wins. Yeah. So
wow.
we
We don't have to answer it. We're just
speed round.
evaluating it.
Purple shirt.
Allison, people have names.
Black shirt back there looking at me. And red shirt right there. All men, sorry. Red, blue, plaid sitting next to Kathy Fields.
Oh, sass. All right. So questions. Go ahead and stand up. Address who your question's for. Personal.
Doug,
Yep.
how did you propose to Kathy?
I proposed to
that's a good
Kathy
question.
on August 17th, 1985 on
was before I was born.
No, 84. 84 on a boat in Sacramento, California on the River Delta. She thought we were going, it was our 2-year dating anniversary. She thought we were going out to dinner. We were on a boat, we were floating. I had a menu made. And the menu says like appetizers was all the things that we had done while we were dating.
Oh, my
The
goodness.
desserts were all
Wow.
these famous quotes. The main dish was "Will you marry me?"
Yes. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I got caught up in the story. I'm sorry. I do. 16 days. Let's
That
go.
was it. That was it. 32 years later. Look how
Still
hot she is
happily
too.
married.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's awesome.
Was it 28?
Oh!
I know our anniversary date.
Everybody.
That was the best.
Kathy just, in case you're listening at home, Kathy just corrected Doug in front of 200 people. It's the
August
best.
28th.
It was the date. Okay. But our wedding
Amazing.
anniversary is March 23rd. Yeah, that's the one that matters.
There you go.
Not really when I
There's
asked
a little
you.
bit of a question
You
mark
only
in
have to
there.
Yeah.
forget it
Okay.
once.
That's one question.
To never
Yeah.
forget it.
Josh, let's go with post-high school non-youth ministry. What's your most embarrassing moment in your life?
Oh, wow.
So many.
I was at the DYM 100, and so this is very recent. I had worked out that day and had ripped out the back of my shorts from the top of the belt all the way down, like a 12-inch rip all the way down. We're at Del Taco eating tacos, laughing, having a great time, and someone's like, "Hey, your pants are all ripped out in the back," and you could see the whole show. It was great. That was it. The whole show. That was it. The whole show. Oh, whoa. I regret.
That's gonna be title of episode 315.
The whole show.
The whole show.
Wow.
It wasn't much of a show. Oh.
No.
All right, here we go.
Show. Wow.
To be a Del Taco.
I think we're all really wondering this. What was your first kiss like? And was it any good?
Nobody's wondering.
Yeah. We're all wondering that. Everybody here.
Nobody is wondering that.
So
That's amazing.
the question
Nobody is wondering
the question is, what was Katie's first kiss and was it any good? All right.
Let's go, Kitty.
The air conditioning is not working. Look how red. Get it. Wow.
Nobody is wondering
Yeah.
this.
We're all.
We're
thank
all
you.
wondering it now.
Yeah. I wasn't until
Nobody
about
was wondering
1
it.
minute
Now we
ago.
all are.
Here we go. First kiss.
Oh my gosh, this is so dumb. My first kiss was
Second grade.
my senior year of high school. So I know it's kind of a late bloomer.
No judgment here. We're among friends.
Yeah. And
No, senior year of high school is at the homecoming dance, and it was like my first boyfriend asked me. The theme was A Night to Remember, so it was all like medieval times themed.
Yeah.
And kiss on the dance floor, first kiss.
what's his name?
His name was Mike.
Mike.
Yeah.
What's his full name? She doesn't know. Oh my goodness. Yes.
All
I
right.
can't remember.
Okay.
I know his name was Mike, but I can't remember.
Tongue or
anything
no
else.
tongue?
I'm not saying
Not saying.
No,
That
it
means
wasn't.
tongue.
No.
Tongue.
No. It was just a nice
All right.
kiss
Just
on
a
the
peck,
dance floor.
a peck from Mike.
That's right.
Yes.
All right.
Total Eclipse of the Heart.
Okay.
The song.
Question for Jason.
Jason,
Yes.
as a super fan, what was the most awkward thing a fan ever asked you to sign or do?
Yeah, good question.
As a supertone, what was
strike back.
what was the most awkward thing somebody's asked you to sign or do?
It didn't happen to me. Okay, it happened to Dan, our trombone player. Someone asked
Don't
him.
they all play the trombone?
It was someone literally in the signing line walked by and pulled down his cheek and wanted Dan to sign his butt cheek with a Sharpie. And Dan said, absolutely not. No way. So I don't know.
All right, so here's how we're voting. We'll go count of 3, and it's either 1, Doug, how did you propose? 2 was Josh, most embarrassing moment. 3 was
My
Katie's
most embarrassing
French
moment.
kissing.
and 4 was Supertones. So the 3 of us are voting. Ready? At the count of 3. So it's
We're
either,
voting?
Yeah, we're voting.
Oh.
Oh, I thought they were voting.
No, we're voting. Ready? 1.
Wait. We're throwing out a number?
Good night, Katie.
Come on.
Yeah,
Katie.
it's either 1 about how I got engaged.
I'm
2,
nervous.
2 Josh's most embarrassing. 3 French kiss. Or 4
Butt cheek.
Supertone. Okay, ready?
Okay.
1
cheek,
and
French kiss.
hold it up. Hold it up. 1, 2, 3.
3 wins. DY 100.
All right, hey, thanks for listening. Those of you that are regulars, rewinders, thanks for being a part of our podcast team.
The Orange Show.
The serious part of this is the reason we've done this for 10 years is because we talk to people who say, I work alone, I'm not on a team, but I listen to you guys, I eat my lunch, I feel like I'm part of a youth ministry team, and we love that. So
Yeah.
thanks for being
We
part of the
love you
team.
guys,
and
yes.
the live audience, thank you for being here. We need to hustle to get to the next general session, which starts in 1 minute. Yeah, all right.
Thank you for all you guys do. Thank you. Yeah. Awesome.
This Download Youth Ministry podcast is brought to you by Generate Camp by YM360. Join us this summer as together we explore how the gospel transforms, revolutionizes, and fundamentally changes everything. Check out our week in Durango, Colorado, July 31st through August 4th with DYM's very own Josh Griffin by heading over to generatestudents.com today.